to your point, that was like a domino. And then it gives you the skills to then start saving money, because you don't just go back to paying off your debt and then all that extra money, you're like, great, I can just buy more stuff now. You're more cognizant. So then now you're saving money and you're like, okay, I'm out of debt, but I really want, for me, it was a condo. So then I started saving all my money to buy my first condo. And then, and it just kind of escalates from there.
Yeah.
But I understand that feeling of feeling like it's like insurmountable.
But I want to bring up one thing just before we pass over that story, because I think there's a lot of courage and a lot of habit changes that you had to go through to make that happen. But I want to bring up one that a lot of people might be afraid of, and that is that when you moved home, everybody was looking at you, your parents.
Oh, yeah.
You had just gotten a degree and you moved home. And so you've got that psychology as well, kind of, hitting the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, how did you get over that?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, my parents are like, well, you're not teaching anymore. And I think I actually went back into bartending at the time because I was making more money. And then I was just throwing all of the money towards, I was making pretty good money, but all towards the debt and my car and, different things like that. And yeah, I mean, luckily for me, I was young. I was like 23, 24, 25. I think it would be harder at like 35 or 40 to do that. But you still have to, because you have to look at where you're at and where you want to be. And if you keep doing the same things, you're not going to do that.
Can I jump in on that? I love that we're talking about this. And I don't know when this will come out, but especially around New Year's when people are thinking a little bit more proactively. I did the same thing with 2 kids. I moved in. So we lived in a house on a golf course. It was so funny. I've never golfed in my entire life, kid. But we lived in a house on a golf course because I thought that was a symbol of whatever, making it. But I was nowhere close to financial freedom. And once I got absolutely committed and clear that I wanted to be financially free, I was man, I'll never forget sitting in that hospital room with my son. I realized how fragile my life was, how fragile time was. And I had to find a way to master money so I can master my life. And so when I got clear and my wife and I got committed to this idea, we sold our house. We moved in a house, went from a mortgage about $3,500 a month to $1,200 a month. And I can't even tell you the level of happiness that went into our life because we were living in a house that just kept us so tight.